How did you guys come about interviewing me? Why me? Thank you.
So kayo last year po ata. Tas recommend na lang.
Okay. Yeah, thank you anyway for having me. So hope I can help you out. How do you want to go about it? Just be casual, be relax lang kayo. I don't bite. You might want to start with introductions.
Good morning, rather. Good morning, Architect Bautista. Thank you for taking the time to meet us today. My name is Stephanie Jose, and my other group mates are Mae Yasol, Ayessa Aguedan, Jason Sanchez, and Astrid Diety. And we are conducting this interview as part of our professional practice subject. The aim is to gain insights into the professional conduct, design and construction, communication and documentation, and project management practices in the field of architecture. Could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about your role at your work?
All right. Okay. First of all, thank you again for having me. And I'd like you all to relax. Okay, we don't have to be too structured. I saw your questionnaire, and I might disrupt that. Okay, para ano lang tayo. I actually would like to present something else to you guys, so you can have a different perspective. Okay, but first things first, I'm architect Freddy Bautista. I'm the principal architect of AB Bautista Architectural Services. And I have been in the industry for more than 30 years. I think it's almost 14 na rin. Okay, I have been into private practice. Okay, and it's a long journey, and I'll share with you later. Okay, my a presentation. Okay, which I did also a year ago or less than a year ago with some graduating students of the UST. I'm from UST, by the way, and I conduct lectures also when I'm invited, more particularly on green architecture. Okay. Uh, I'm also part of the technical working group with Dean Chona for the career path for green architecture. Okay. And I'm also part of the Council of Advisors in St. Benilde for the architecture side also. So, okay, there you go. And I'm based in Labang. My office is here. Um, for the longest time, I was in Makati. And then we proceeded to Paranaque now in Labang. My projects are more focused on schools, like Southville International School. I have been working with them since 1994. Okay. Probably I'll share with you also on our website so you can have a further understanding of the things that I do. Now, if you allow me, I will. I'd like to present to you. Okay, presentation I did for UST. No? So it's kind of different from well some of the questions that you will ask me. Tatamaan na rin. Okay, is that okay with you guys? Right? Okay. So I'll share my screen. And then just feel free to ask if there's anything else okay that you'd like to find out. No? Here we go. Can you see it now?
Yes po.
All right. So architecture, your course on course. Okay, that was the title that I used already. Okay. What if someone tells you that you took the wrong course? What will you answer? Can you say that I am wrong? Can you say why you took up architecture? Who wants to answer that? Who wants to go? Me? Go ahead.
Um, for me, sir, siguro kaya ako nag-join kasi ever since bata pa ako, I've been, kumbaga mulat na po ako sa construction kasi yung father ko po, may business po siya na upholstery and then yung eldest sister ko po, nag-take po siya ng architecture. But sadly, hindi po siya nakatapos.
Oh, sayang. So you took your course not because your parents wanted to, no, but because you want to. Or baka barkada, di ba? Or
Um,
yung
sa
influences ninyo.
influence din po ng father ko.
Okay.
Gusto ko din po siya.
Okay, that's good. So who else? So what inspired you to take architecture? Yung mga role model kagaya ni May, yung dad niya, diba? Are you passionate about what you do? Then who else wants to answer? Go, go. Nakamute ka yata. Steph.
Ako naman po, architect. Ganun din po kasi sa family po namin, bale sa construction and medical lang po tumatakbo yung courses. Tapos, pero mostly po kasi ng nakasama ko, like yung tito ko po, nakasama ko dito sa bahay. Sa construction din po siya. So, kaya parang, ayun din po, yun din po yung nag-inspired sa akin na mag-take ng Archi.
Alright. Nice. Okay. So, ganun, ano, iba-iba tayong inspiration probably or influences on why we took up architecture. Okay, but the reason is we really need to find out our why. Okay, establishing your why. Okay, find out your why always. Okay, establishing and reinforcing your why this early sets you on the right track. It's like your compass. Okay, but even in designing, the first thing that we look into what is the properties, orientation, the rough bearings, right? So, pinaplot muna natin yan. Tama ba? Baka mamaya kasi magtatayo tayo. Mali-mali pala. Meron nag-encroach sa kabilang property or kayo yung owner naman sa kabila, kinain na yung property niyo. So, this is the first thing that we look into. Okay? So, if you don't get the right survey, you'll be in trouble. And everything else will be affected. Okay? So, how do you find your why? How will you find your true north? Okay? Kasi ito, I will not paint a rosy picture of architecture. I'd like you to see its realities and hopefully you learn from them to strengthen your path to success. Maski yung mga tinatawag natin na star architects, okay? They didn't get there just like that. They've gone through a lot of experiences that maybe you cannot imagine, right? Ito, this answers some of your questions. Before UST, okay, I took up automotive. I was in Don Bosco kasi Don Bosco is a technical school and apart from the academics, meron technical side of things. Eh, mahilig ako sa kotse nun. So, I took up automotive. But then, growing in Makati back in the 70s, I saw how it evolved into being a premier business district, a central business district. So I saw buildings slowly rising in the Gaspi village and outside the village. Back then, it was also my playground. I'm from Makati kasi. Okay. So I even biked bisikleta ako over those gravel and sand delivered sa construction sites. And amazed on how things are developing, this inspired me later to take on architecture. Okay. So somehow you see the influences of how I went into architecture. Okay. Now with the support of family and friends, so I was off to a good start. But like I said, it was not too rosy. If there were highs, definitely there are lows. So there was a financial crisis back in 2007. Tapos recently, di ba, the pandemic, the experience niya yan, di ba, how it was. So a lot of, even up to now, may ibang firms nag-close up and are still struggling. Okay. So these are the realities of architecture. So as you move on, you will be tested. And depending on your attitude, you can choose to learn the lessons or find another path. So hindi biro. Okay. So ito, yan yung mga realities na sasalubungin ninyo. Okay. So you will receive lessons on patience and perseverance. So you have to be consistent. How passionate are you in the things that you do? Will that passion keep you on the right track? Then mentoring. This is very important. Find a good, kumbaga, sa umpisa, geodetic engineer ang ginagamit natin, di ba, sa pag-survey ng lots. Find a good surveyor to point you on the right direction. Diba? Your Yoda or your Shifu. Yan, yun yung hanapin nyo. Okay. Don't be afraid to ask. Okay. And then there's lifelong learning. Once you graduate, actually, umpisa pa lang kayo. You have a lot to learn. And even I admittedly, okay, we continue to study. We cannot stop. Okay. To be relevant, you have to continue studying. Kwento ko lang ako when I graduated, natapos kami T square ang gamit. And then nag-evolve, di ba? Nagkaroon ng CAD. So I had to take crash courses and that. If not, I cannot adapt. And things are so fast. Things are moving too fast, in fact. We're doing AI now. Okay? When did that start now? Diba? So you have to keep on studying. You have to keep on learning. And then, this is one important thing. Relationships. Your relationships dictate your future also. Create meaningful ones. Okay? Kayo, magkakasama kayo ngayon. Your group work. Okay? This is an important thing for you to treasure also. Okay? This is one experience that you can look back into. Kasi who knows in the future, kayo rin yung magtutulungan. Keep in touch. Even with your high school buddies, your high school friends. Okay? Keep in touch with them. They will be maybe your partners in the future. I can say not partners, but probably referral partners. Sila rin yung magbibigay ng negosyo sa inyo or vice versa. Okay. You help them out as well. Okay. There's this one lesson I learned, and it's called the philosophy of giver's gain. Okay, the more that you give, the more that you gain. Meaning, there's that reciprocity, the principle of reciprocity. Okay. So these things, like now, I help people. In terms of like you, I help students. I help others give some consultations, not necessarily for any return. Okay, we don't really ask sometimes, but babalik to. Okay, so try to have that attitude. So, okay, relationships will make your business sustainable. Remember, architecture is still a business. Any course is a business, even the doctors, negosyo din yan. Okay? But if you don't have relationships, you won't survive. Relationships covers a lot. Even your employees. Kailangan maganda yung uh, relationship mo sa tao. As a leader, okay, hindi tayo nag-utos-utos lang. Okay? Maraming nagkakamali sa ganun. Okay? We help them grow. We help people grow. That's the mark of a true leader. Okay? So relationship is very important. And more importantly, we do not burn bridges. Okay, keep those relationships. If we don't agree with somebody, we work things out diplomatically. Okay. So ito yung mga matututunan nyo in the future. Alright? So far, so good ba, guys? Okay, I hope I'm helping you out with that. No? So, how did I come into focusing green architecture? I have long been exposed to nature, being a Boy Scout sa Don Bosco Boy Scout ako for the longest time, all the way to being a Rizal Scout. I was also exposed to farm life, where the experimental nature of my dad came into play. We dabbled into biogas, Savonius windmills, and other environmentally friendly practices. Back then, during the 80s, okay, sa UST, in fact, ang proposal ko noon, the thesis ko, was an integrated farming system. Familiar ba kayo doon? Okay. An integrated farming system that is like a self-sustaining or sustainable community that is self-standing. Yes, sorry, self-sustaining na it will stand alone. Okay. But if you will notice, our during the pandemic, yung food supply natin was threatened. Di ba? We were all locked up. We couldn't get out. So, ang kaya dumami yung mga plantitas, right? Yeah. So, yun yung sinasabi natin. If technology fails, what happens? But unfortunately, yung thesis ko nun was not approved. Kasi iba yung mindset ng mga professors namin pa nun. When they say architecture, akala nila puro structures lang. We go beyond design. We go beyond the buildings. Okay? When we talk about anything, business, andun yung sustainability. Okay? So that's, you look beyond architecture. You look beyond design. We are instruments. We are part of life. Okay? We're part of nature. Diba? Sabi nga ni Frank Lloyd Wright, go with nature and you'll never go wrong. And he wasn't even talking about green architecture back then. Right? So look at all of this. Okay? Macro level to micro level. So, in the end, sa thesis ko nun, I ended up doing low-cost housing. Okay, but, well, lumusot naman. Pero, you see how things, don't be afraid to innovate. Okay, I was ahead of my time during my proposal. Okay, But where are we now? Okay. Look at how climate change has affected us. Okay. So going through my professional life, my connectedness to nature remained. Little that I knew that my activities like I like nature because I do scuba, I bike, I golf, and so on. So nature related. Okay. This has maintained me in this course, and that developing that direction in helping our common goal, our common home, our only earth by being a green architect. So lahat ng mga ginagawa ko, okay, whether they like it or not, meron principles ng green architecture na ina-adapt ko. Your why is your compass. Okay, it is a guiding star that will illuminate your path through the challenges and uncertainties. It is the fuel that will ignite your passion and drive you to create something truly extraordinary. Okay? To find out your why, hold on to it with unwavering conviction. Let your motivation and your legacy be that will keep it going. Because when you build with purpose, you're not just creating structures, you're shaping the future. Okay? You're affecting lives. Okay? You're leaving your mark on the world one design at a time. Okay? So ako, I've been focused on doing school. Okay? Kaya puro ganito. Ever since naging trabaho ko na yun. Okay? So, if someone tells you, you took the wrong course again, what would you do? You know, sinasabihan na ako na I was addressed by an orphan who eventually became a very successful and self-made man. He actually gave me the deeper why, my deeper why. He kept me on course, and that was my late father. Okay, so why am I? Why am I an architect? Because I'm a steward, an instrument for all of you and our future. So yan. So baka may iba pa kayong tanong. Very good. Sorry, I took your questionnaire off course.
Okay lang po, na-answer mo naman po yung mga mostly questions namin.
Architect, I have a
Go
question.
ahead. Yeah.
So we all know that architecture seems like a very collaborative field.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a bit about how you typically work with clients and other teams on a project?
Okay. First things first, like I said, mindset. Okay, you have to be open. Okay, we all have different trades. Okay, we have all our different expertise and specialties. Okay, so first things first that you look into is attitude. You should be open to listening. Okay, we should be open to accepting or experimenting. Okay, and looking into innovations. Okay? Like I said, it has to be two-way. Hindi hindi lang tayo yung magaling. You have to accept that. Okay? We have to accept that there are people better than us. In fact, if you surround yourself with people better than you become better yourself. Okay? Be humble. Okay? Humility, that's very important. Okay? Patience and humility. Okay? So collaboration, like I said, building relationships, you cannot be just by yourself. Okay? We cannot move on. Di ba? No man is an island, sabi nga, di ba? Okay? Imagine mo, in an island, pag ikaw lang mag-isa, anong negosyo mo? Mag-fishing ka lang siguro, di ba? But eventually, when you want to grow, you have to have people beside you. You have to have relationships. Why do you get clients? How do you get clients? By building relationships. In a way, that's collaboration. When we do things, okay, how do you get a bigger project? Hindi natin kaya mag-isa. We get people na may expertise din. We collaborate with engineers. We collaborate with other people who are more attuned to their specialties. Okay, that way, may nakaalalay sa'yo to face those challenges. Okay? Mindset, attitude is number one. Yun yung mga hindi tinuturo. Okay? Attitude is very important. Okay. Yeah, hope you answered. I answered it.
Next question po.
Yeah.
Looking ahead, what do you think are some of the biggest hurdles and also the most interesting possibilities for architecture to tackle?
Well, more of the realities. Okay. Financial realities, more particularly budgets with clients. Okay. Maraming problema sa clients who do not understand what architecture is. In fact, a lot do not understand professionalism, the things that we do. Okay. So how do we do that? By educating them. Okay. You show them your value. You show them that why they need an architect. Show them what our role is. We don't just allow to be dictated. Okay? Yun ang importante. Okay? Ang problema kasi, like, eto mga challenges, yung people think they know best. Okay? But why did they get an architect? Hindi naman nila naiintindihan. Okay? Minsan kukuha sila ng architect tapos they want this and that, turo ng turo. But we're there, okay, as instruments, okay, to make them realities, their dreams, okay. But are their dreams realistic? And that's where we guide them. Okay. How we do it diplomatically. Hindi natin pinapwersa yung gusto natin. Okay. We tell them the possibilities, we tell them the advantages and disadvantages. We teach them. Okay, we teach them all the way as we go along. And that way you build closer relationships with them. Okay, so this is how you maintain your clients. Okay, you maintain them by being their friend, okay? By being part of what they are dreaming of. Okay, yun yung direction natin. Okay, we are instruments, keep that in mind. Nasa code of ethics natin. Okay, we're not here only for the money. Yung money, dumadating yan. Okay, once you do good, once you have those relationships with them, dadating yan. Okay, but it's not first and foremost. Okay, we give them value. We help their life. Okay, we set them in the right direction. Okay, hanggang matapos yung project na yun. Kasi ano yung problema natin na isa pa? When we do a project, karamihan pag natapos ang project, turnover, we go. Right? Compare it to mga appliances. Ang appliances, ano meron? Meron silang owner's manual. Right? Instruction manual. Bili ka ng cellphone. There's a manual that you can refer to, whether online or hard copy. When you buy even an electric fan or a refrigerator, an air condition, lahat may owner's manual. Pero, ang bahay wala. Ang building wala. Right? So, what happens? We left them hanging. Pag-occupy nila. Diba? It's, we tell them, sa umpisa pa lang actually, why we're doing this design. Why we're situating probably this window here. Okay? Probably because we'd like them to adopt passive design. Probably we tell them we're adopting the amihan and habagat breeze. Okay? Because this is part of green architecture and part of how it will affect their health. Diba? Natural ventilation, natural lighting. Like we put the windows more openings on the north and the south. Why? Because we try to avoid the heat on the east and west. But we allow more ambient lighting. Okay? So we block the heat, but we allow the light. So these things, okay? You have to educate them. Nagtuturo ka rin. Okay, that way they get to understand what you're doing. Okay, hindi yung pag bumili sila, hindi naman tayo parang toothpaste, di ba? Bibili ng toothpaste tapos pagubos na, bili ulit. So we're not a consumer item. There's a degree of education that has to go into that. Okay. So like buildings, for example, yung mga generator na kinakapitan, there's an orientation that has to be done. There are commissioning agents who does that. Okay, so doon mo yan nga, you collaborate with these people, okay, to help you turn over a project. You orient the project managers, the building administrators. Okay, so ganon. So it's a complex thing. Parang mga doctors, di ba? Ang problema nga natin sa field natin, marami hindi nakakaintindi. Unlike doctors, pag sinabi ng doctor, nag-prescribe, sunod naman tayo. Right? So, we hope to get to that level. Okay, na pag sinabi natin, we don't say it because just like that na masusunod tayo. But we say it because we'd like them to understand. Right? So, yun. Yes, go ahead. There.
Diba? Ayan po, sir. So, nabanggit niyo po, sir, na nagpa-practice po kayo ng sustainability or sustainable architecture. So, given that architecture is a constant learning or lifelong learning. So,
Yeah.
how do you keep up with the most recent developments and best practice in sustainable architecture and construction?
So, yun. Basically, you have, the nice thing about our times now, you have a lot of access, okay, in terms of the internet, a lot of information, but access to people, okay, who conduct trainings, okay. All you need to do is to look into all of this, but you have to discern, okay, and find out kung ano yung totoo at hindi, okay. Well, we're all exposed to fake news also. Okay, so keep on validating. Okay? Keep on doing the things of by finding out, researching is very important. Okay, validate that you find out. Not we just don't take things, okay, as it is. Okay? It's a challenge now, okay, because there's so much information, okay, but there's so much information also that are not true, okay. That's why you need to check before you actually pursue its use. Okay? You look at the credibility of people who are delivering it, okay, like your professors, like people in the industry, dealing with people in the industry who have delivered actual projects also. Okay, so always look into validating it, researching properly. Okay? So yun yung mga babantayan natin. Information. Keep abreast always. So, there are a lot of organizations actually. Okay, that's another way of you to progress. No? Be part of organizations. Okay? And not only, of course, tayo kasi we're part of, like kayo, maging UAP. Okay? But try to connect with other organizations also. Okay, you learn also in different ways. And again, you build relationships in another uh, set of people, okay, na pwedeng maging clients nyo, pwedeng maging referral partners nyo. Okay. By the way, when you do build relationships, okay, may makilala kayo, don't expect these people to be your clients outright. Okay? Sometimes kasi I come across people na nire-refer sa akin na hindi nila kailangan yung services ko. Hindi nila maintindihan minsan. But you keep those relationships. You keep them in mind so that you will be kept in mind too. Okay, so pag they come across people, they will refer you. So that's how you do relationships. Ang relationships kasi hindi lang one time. Okay, you build it up. You build it up. Minsan, may nire-refer sa akin, hindi nila kaya or hindi nila maintindihan, but that's why you keep those relationships. Again, you educate them. Okay? And maybe later on, doon sila babalik. Ako, I have clients like that. Babalik sa akin after 1 year, 2 years. Okay, but because I kept them in mind also, as simple as greeting them their birthdays. Bigla kang susulpot nag-happy birthday ka. Okay. So, yung mga ganun, naaalala ka rin nila. Okay. Sabi nga out of mind, out of sight. Okay. Ang dami natin arkitekto. Okay. Sa dami nun, sino yung mag-stand out. Okay. If you have that special relationship with those clients of yours, ikaw yung maalala. So there's this principle that we follow, the VCP process. That's visibility. When you're always visible, you build up your credibility. When you're credible, sa'yo yung magpapagawa. And that leads to the P. What is that? Profit. Right? So VCP process. So visibility, credibility, and profit. Be active in leadership. Leadership training, being part of the leadership teams, for example. Be more active on that. That's how you become visible in the first place. And that's how you build up your credibility, and that's how you learn to. Okay. Right? Go ahead, Astrid.
Architect, for the next question po, in terms of project documentations naman po, like contracts, specifications, and architectural drawings, can you share us with examples po on how you handle them in order to maintain accuracy and compliance po?
Well, contracts. Okay, we have the standard that we follow. In the UAP documents tayo that you can refer to. But of course, you can always tweak that and you can input for more safety. You can input those conditions that are not normally found there. In terms of payment, and yeah, sometimes you need to be flexible also, depending on the client. But make sure also, well, it's always good to have some legal support in terms of documents. If you can have a lawyer, palagi, it would be good to partner with a lawyer to have them review at least. Parang may retainer kan lawyer. And so it has, well, again, first and foremost, basic, the contract has to be fair. Fair for both parties, you and your client. So, madalas kasi, well, of course, andun yung mga safety checks natin because of liabilities and all. But it has to be fair also to the client. So, hindi one way. Hindi one way. So, both, same thing with your contractors, your suppliers. You look into the safety aspects na yung liability nyo hindi ma-threaten. Okay? But make sure also that it's also fair naman. So we're all in this to make a living. Hindi lang tayo basta sacrifice lahat. Okay? And make sure always that you maintain your integrity. Okay? Yung mga shortcuts, yung mga instant hindi tumatagal actually. And masisira tayo. Maliit ang industriya natin. Well, it's big, but ang bilis. You know how it is in the country. Maraming marites eh. So, mabilis kumalat ng pag may konting problema pa. Diba? Alam natin may mga kalokohan. Okay? You stand your ground, manindigan kayo palagi. Alright? So you're all, fifth year ba? Fifth year na ano kayo? Ayessa?
Fourth year po.
Fourth year.
Fourth. So, kailan ang, nyo, magtitisis kayo next year or what?
Next year pa po.
Okay.
For the last question na lang po.
Okay.
What would you suggest to young people just starting out in architecture? Are there specific skills, attitudes, or experiences you think are crucial to success in this work?
Well, I often say sa akin kasi, one of the principles I keep on following is patience and humility. You have to be patient on working step by step. There's so much to learn. Okay, like I said, umpisa pa lang kayo. Okay, maski makailang years tayo. Okay, there's so much to learn. And things changes so fast. Okay. You have to be patient and keep on absorbing. Parang tayo, sponge eh. Okay, but absorb the right stuff, like I said. Validate and research. Okay. Surround yourself with people, okay, who are better than you. Okay, that's part of being humble. Okay, learn from these people. Find good mentors. Okay, not everything is learned in school. Not everything is learned in books. Okay, sometimes experience is the best teacher, but hopefully you experience the right stuff. And how do you do that? By aligning with people, okay, who are willing to share. Okay, those who are people who will help. Try to practice giver's game also. Okay, the more people you help, okay, it comes back to you. Right? I hope that helps. So just feel free to call me or message me if you guys have anything in mind. I'd like to learn from you also in the long term. Siyempre, iba yung natututunan nyo. Iba yung natututunan ko. Okay. And sharing always helps. Okay. So giving is not only monetary or anything else, but sharing, okay, what you learned. It's a lot of fun. Okay? Yeah.
Okay, last question. So,
Okay.
thank you,
Go ahead.
Architect, for sharing your insight with us today. To wrap up, could you summarize the key points we've discussed and share any final thoughts?
Well, my wishes for you all to to be successful in your endeavors. Like I said, patience and humility. This is very important to me. And then relationships. Do not burn bridges. That's what will take you in the long term. Tuloy-tuloy lang tayo. Okay, mentoring. So, I hope you got the one that I showed you, the lessons that we'll be learning, that the lessons that you will see. Okay. So, just proceed, and important is attitude also. Go back to your why. Okay, why are you in this? Why are you taking up architecture? Why are you pursuing it? Okay, that will make things solid for you. So, good luck again, and keep on praying always. Kasama yan, importante yan para makaandar tayo. Alright?
So, thank you once again for your time and valuable input, Architect Bautista. This interview has been incredibly informative and will greatly benefit our understanding of professional practice in architecture.
Okay, you're most welcome. Thank you
Thank you
too.
po,
Thank you.
Architect.
Alright.
Thank
Good
you
luck, guys.
po.
Thank you po.
You're welcome. Okay. Leaving now.